morning, everyone. Oh, I'm a little taller than the director. Thank you for being here at the 2022 CA2X Forum, the 17th edition that we've had here. Thank you for being back here in presence with us here in beautiful Rome, the Eternal City. It is my privilege today to be with you and to take you through the rest of the plenary. I will move directly into our welcome messages from ACT and the representatives speaking on behalf of the center's sponsoring nations. If you haven't at this time, please silence your cell phones. Our first welcome message is from the Assistant Chief of Staff, Joint Force Development in ACT, Brigadier General Moskos Voudouris. General Voudouris joined the Hellenic Army Academy in 1986 and graduated in 1990, commissioned as an artillery second lieutenant. His command assignments include command of Battery A of the 110th Field Artillery Battalion, commander of Headquarters Battery in the 98th Air Defense Artillery Battalion, and commander of the 181st Air Defense Artillery Battalion. He also served as deputy commander of the Hellenic Army Artillery School. His staff assignments in the artillery units include Battalion S2 and S3, Battalion S4, and also the Chief of Operations and Plans for the 181st Air Defense Artillery Battalion. He also served as Chief of Plans and Current Operations for the 88th Military Command at brigade level, and later as Staff Officer for NATO Education and Training Facilities in the Joint Education Training and Exercises Division at Headquarters SAC-T. He also served in the NRDC Greece on multiple assignments. He is a graduate of the Hellenic Army Command and Staff College, the Hellenic Joint War College, and the Hellenic National Defense College. Unfortunately, General Voudouris was unable to be here in presence with us today, but sent us this following welcome video.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for allowing me the opportunity to welcome this large and august group of professionals from military, government, industry, and academia. Based on the program and attendees, this forum promises to be fruitful and will hopefully contribute to solving some of our issues in NATO and our nations. Let me muse on the current situation at HQ SAC-T where I work. General Lavin is very keen on using technology and new techniques to improve decision-making. He has been working through his priorities, and certainly the warfare development plan occupies a lot of his time. A key element of warfare development is NATO's digital transformation. This year's CA2X theme perfectly fits our needs. In fact, our digital transformation advisor, Brigadier General Polome, is with you this week. With this in mind, SAC-T is still very keen on modeling and simulation, wargaming, experimentation, and other analytical techniques. The current modeling and simulation environment does not fully exploit NATO's potential application areas. These include, among other things, assisted decision-making, defense, strategic and operational planning, mission rehearsal, education and training, wargaming, strategic studies, procurement, capability development, concept development and experimentation, doctrine, lessons learned, innovation, and science and technology. The military committee tasked by strategic commanders with ACT in the lead to present plans to develop the NATO next generation of modeling and simulation capability program following the common funded capability delivery governance model. The desired effects of next generation include a robust and on-demand modeling and simulation capability that will support training, strategic foresight, dynamic visualization of data, analysis, and wargaming to increase NATO readiness and responsiveness at the strategic and operational level. The expected benefits include an increase in functionality and efficiency of modeling and simulation support activities, producing an improvement in the overall effectiveness of all areas that leverage modeling and simulation. The availability of next-gen will increase over time, thereby raising NATO's overall capacity to satisfy growing modeling and simulation demand. Next-gen capability will be highly customizable, allowing the user to modify the NATO persistent synthetic environment using shared modeling simulation capabilities across the alliance. With that, I will close and again welcome you all to this very important forum.
So our first welcome speaker is Brigadier General Didier Polome, the ACOS Strategic Plans and Policy of ACT. General Polome is also the Special Advisor to SAC-T on digital transformation and the NATO-EU cooperation. General Polome started his fighter pilot career in 1988 at the Belgian Royal Military Academy, followed by the Euro-NATO Joint Jet Pilot Training at Shepherd Air Force Base. He joined the 350th Fighter Squadron in Florens in 1997 and subsequently participated in NATO operations above former Yugoslavia. In 2004, General Polome was appointed as an A3 staff officer in NATO HQ AC Ramstein. In 2007, General Polome assumed command of the 350th Fighter Squadron and led the 1st Belgian F-16 detachment to Kandahar in support of ISAF in 2008. In 2010, General Polome was assigned as Chief Crisis Response Planning in the Belgian Joint Staff, leading the operational planning for the Belgian contribution to operations such as ISAF, Unified Protector in Libya, Serval in Mali, and the Baltic Air Policing. In 2016, General Polome was assigned as the commander of the 2nd Tactical Wing in Florens Air Base, responsible for operations in Jordan, the Baltic States, Mali, and Belgium. In 2019, General Polome was appointed to Headquarters SAC-T, supervising the military activities related to the NATO defense planning process, and has recently been appointed to lead the implementation of the Alliance multi-domain operations concept and the digital transformation effort. General Polome has attended the U.S. Air War College and the U.S. National War College. Please welcome General Polome.
Thank you very much. Buongiorno. I'm supposed to be the rigid military leader who is going to structure a bit our work this week and spoil your creativity. But I'm sorry they picked the wrong guy. So I actually would like to put some context on where we are today and what we will contribute to in a larger perspective for NATO. So about 2 years ago, the two strategic commands, which is ACO, Allied Command Operations, and ACT, came up with two unique capstone concepts for the alliance, and these will probably remain valid for the next 10 years. On the ACO side, they came up with the DDA. I don't know if that rings a bell for some of you, probably the military folks in this group, is the new concept for deterrence and defense of the SACEUR AOR. It's really about reviewing and redesigning the force structure and the C2 structure to better defend the alliance. And it was about time that the alliance would have a comprehensive plan that includes the whole of the AOR. So that was a good thing, I believe, for NATO, and now they are working on aligning all the NATO efforts into implementing this concept. On our side in Norfolk, we created what we call the NATO warfighting capstone concept. And our role is capability developers, so we're focusing on improving the military instrument of power, and we defined in our structure big areas where we can improve for the future. And it's supposed to be guiding our work for the next 20 years starting today. And these 5 main areas are really about better understanding the operational and strategic environment. We call it cognitive superiority. It's be more resilient through a layered resilience concept. And a lot of guys are working on that also to understand what it means. It's pretty much making sure that the military forces, from the field of force down to the industry, makes up as a system that is resilient to the possible threat. And then we have something that would interest you even more in the work we'll do this week. It's 3 areas where we review a little bit how we use the military instrument of power to improve the influence and power projection. It's really about doing something with all of our forces, and I speak by that NATO designated forces, and by the way, all the terminology you know so far may change very soon with the new C2 structure that ACO is working on. And on the other side also, how do we interconnect with the national forces to produce all these effects that would put us in an advantageous position. And then you have 2 other areas which are a little bit more technical and really will ring some bells here. It's about how do we construct a multi-domain framework or network that will enable us to use all our capabilities in a more effective way to achieve our task. And then the last one is really forward-looking, but I heard many of your efforts will probably guide us in that perspective, is the cross-domain command. Is how do we change from a service or component-centric C2 and forced employment towards something that we don't know how it looks like yet, but you will help us certainly defining that this week. How do we set that up as cross-domain functionalities? You know, it's across the 5 domains. When we say the 5 domains for NATO, now it's clear. That is the typical 3, land, air, mar domains together with cyberspace and space. So how do we interconnect that to achieve our effects? How do we put this all together in operational planning? How do we understand that at a higher level, strategic and pole mill level, to make better decisions? And ultimately, how the battle space manager will use all these assets together. So that's really what DDA and BCs are about. So today, I understand that there are many initiatives, many efforts that actually are part of that big effort that the Alliance is trying to run. We did define into our concept, and those concepts, by the way, have been approved at the highest level in NATO by the heads of states. And the tasks that are coming down to us from those 2 concepts is basically, okay, now figure it out, and you are tasked to fully implement those 2 concepts. So we're working on that. So I was saying, everything you're doing on your side is a contribution to that all of effort. You know, how do we develop this multi-domain operation for the Alliance? How do we implement it, you know, with actually capabilities and C2 functionalities that are able to put it in place? You know, that's really what we're trying to achieve. So our role, and you will see me across the different workshops, is to understand how your contribution can fit into that big box, you know. So we haven't solved it yet. That's the good part, especially for the nations and industry representative taking part of this week. So everything you're going to bring it today and this week will be useful. And I will finish with a small statement from my son. It's actually about something else, but I think it would be applicable. You know, if I would say that, I can read into your mind already, and he would say, good luck with that. But I trust that with your contribution, we'll achieve that. Thank you very much.